Where is Jennifer Aniston's engagement ring from Brad Pitt now? All about the custom rock that reportedly cost $500,000. Brad Pitt proposed to Jennifer Aniston in 1999. The Friends star's engagement ring reportedly cost $500,000. It featured a 9-carat diamond surrounded by a spiral of round-cut stones set in platinum. Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston's high-profile relationship took Hollywood by storm when the A-list couple got together back in 1998. At the time, Pitt was busy cementing his celebrity status with films like Legends of the Fall and Seven. Aniston, for her part, was already a household name thanks to her starring role in Friends. The couple quickly fell in love and got engaged just 1 year after their first date. Perhaps unsurprisingly, much ado was made about the actress's engagement ring, which reportedly cost $500,000. The couple debuted the sparkler at a Sting concert in New York City on November 21, 1999, and wed the following summer in Malibu. 5 years later, however, they called it quits. The Mother's Day actress later called it a vulnerable time in her life. "I haven't looked at that article in forever," Aniston later said of her 2005 Vanity Fair cover story, The Unsinkable Jennifer Aniston, which was her first interview post-split. "I just remember the experience of doing it, which was kind of jarring. It was also such a vulnerable time. But yeah, that was one for the memoirs." Though it's now been over 20 years since their breakup, the story of Pitt and Aniston's Hollywood romance still represents one of the most iconic couplings of all time. Ahead, here's everything you should know about their partnership and what happened to that $500,000 diamond ring post-divorce. Brad Pitt proposed to Jennifer Aniston in 1999. Pitt and Aniston met in 1994 and went on their first date 4 years later. Speaking to Diane Sawyer in 20024, the Friends actress described their first outing as really fun. Asked if she knew right away, Aniston told Sawyer, "Yeah, we both did." The couple announced their engagement just 1 year later on November 21, 1999, when they got up on stage during a Sting concert in New York City to show off Aniston's new bling. Her engagement ring featured a symbolic 9-carat diamond. Speaking of her bling, Aniston's engagement ring featured a 9-carat brilliant cut stone surrounded by a spiral of round-cut stones encased in platinum, per brides. The sparkler was custom-made for the bride-to-be by Italian jewelry designer Silvia Damiani and was reportedly inspired by a pair of earrings that Pitt had previously gifted his fiancée. The ring was also a deeply meaningful nod to the couple's commitment to one another thanks to the symbolism of round-cut stones. As with most rings, round-cut stones are perfectly symmetrical circles and therefore represent a lifetime together with no beginning and no end. It reportedly cost $500,000. Though the price tag of Aniston's ring was never revealed to the public, it reportedly cost Pitt $500,000 per brides. Of course, that's just half of what it cost Justin Theroux to propose to Aniston over a decade later. When the actor got down on one knee in 2012, he did so with a ring that was estimated to be worth a cool $1 million per brides. The couple tied the knot in 2000 and split in 2005. Following their Y2K engagement, Pitt and Aniston tied the knot on July 29, 2000 in front of 200 of their closest friends and family. The couple's wedding took place in Malibu, California and featured 50,000 flowers for bands and a 13-minute fireworks display per people. All in all, the nuptials cost the newly minted husband and wife roughly $1 million. Pitt and Aniston were married for nearly 5 years before announcing their separation on January 7, 2005. The high-profile divorce was finalized on October 2nd of that same year. At that point, Pitt was already involved with the woman who would become his second wife, Angelina Jolie. "I can't say it was one of the highlights of my year," Aniston told Vanity Fair in her first interview post-split. "Who would deal with that and say, 'Isn't that sweet? That looks like fun. But shit happens. You joke and say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.'" She continued, "I would much rather everyone move on. I am not defined by this relationship. I am not defined by the part the media is making me play in the triangle. It's maddening to me." The fate of Aniston's ring remains unknown. In the years since their divorce, Pitt and Aniston have remained friendly. Neither has spoken about the fate of her engagement ring. However, according to brides, no sales or auctions were reported, meaning the murder mystery actress likely either kept the ring for herself or returned it to Pitt. In 2020, Aniston reunited with Pitt at the SAG Awards wearing a ring that looked strikingly similar to her engagement ring, prompting fans to wonder if the exes were on their way to a reconciliation. Those rumors were promptly debunked, however. The actress has since coupled up with hypnotherapist Jim Curtis, with whom she is very happy. Pitt, for his part, is dating Ines de Ramon. The 33-year-old has reportedly been a calming and supportive presence in the wake of his divorce from Jolie.